the bashing of public employees is statewide, nationwide. And it's also retired public employees are also being bashed because they do have a legitimate, pension that they paid dearly to get. They invested into that system, and so that's a part of that envy that we say that's out there, against us. So it's a whole issue of private versus public right now, and that's going to be a key issue in the future. A fear I have is that the younger generation doesn't have a total understanding as to what is happening with pensions. My own grandchildren say to me that, I really don't care about Social Security because by the time I retire, it's going to be gone. And the same is true with public pensions. Many of the younger people say, well, there won't probably be anything left for me anyway when I get there.
Public employees in Minnesota are covered under 4 main plans. The Minnesota State Retirement System, MSRS, for employees of the state of Minnesota, the University of Minnesota, and the Met Council. The Public Employee Retirement Association, PERA, for local government employees. The Teachers Retirement Association, TRA, for public school teachers and the state of Minnesota, MNSCU, and U of M faculty, and federal employee pension systems for federal and postal service workers. All pension funds for state and local government employees are created by the legislature. The benefit and funding rules are set by state law. Each pension fund has governing boards composed of current and retired workers, employer representatives, and representatives of elected officials. Investments for all statewide funds are made by the State Board of Investment. All the main plans are defined benefit plans. Benefits are based on a combination of years of service and the high 5 years of salary. Cost of living adjustments for retirees are pegged to the Consumer Price Index, but capped based on the amount of investment returns. The 2010 legislature set the COLA at 2% for MSRS, 1% for PERA, and 0% for TRA for 2011 and 2012. The TRA COLA will go to 2% in 2013. These limits will continue until the plans are 90% funded, at which point the increase will rise to 2.5%. Listening to the attacks on public employee pensions, you would think Minnesota retirees are taking home 6-figure pensions. The fact is, the average PERA general pension plan is $10,700 per year. The fact is, the average MSRS pension is $17,800 per year. The fact is, the average TRA pension is $27,500 per year. Plans are funded by both employee and employer contributions and investment earnings. Employee contributions for the general plans vary from 5% for MSRS to 6.25% for PERA and 6.5% for TRA. The TRA contributions will increase to 7% in July 2013 and 7.5% in July 2014. The employer contributions to the general plans are generally the same as the employee contributions. Employer and employee contributions cover only 1/3 of the overall cost of the pensions. The other 2/3 comes from the investment earnings of the funds. The last 2 recessions seriously damaged plan assets. This led to both worker and employer contribution increases and reductions in retiree COLAs. But Minnesota House and Senate Republicans want to go further and undermine Minnesota's public sector pensions. They've introduced bills to replace defined benefit plans with defined contribution plans, to raise the retirement age, to exclude overtime and other forms of irregular income, and to further reduce COLAs. All of these proposals are designed to reduce the amount of the employer contribution. By blaming public employee pensions for the state fiscal problems, they try to pit public sector working families against private sector working families. What do we know so far? We know that defined benefit plans work. For active workers, these plans will provide the highest and most secure income during retirement. For retirees, these plans provide a higher and more secure standard of living. The attack on these plans is the same. Private employers want to divert money from pension contributions to profits, and elected officials want to avoid a tax system which asks everyone to pay their fair share. We also know that defined contribution plans are now the typical pension plan for most current workers and for more and more union members. But we also know that these are not a good retirement vehicle for low and middle income people. Moving to these plans is making most future seniors more dependent on Social Security just at the time that some politicians want to cut Social Security. So what do we need to do? We need a private and public sector commitment to fund adequate pensions for all workers. This means protecting the defined benefit pension plans we have. This means fighting to require employers to pay their fair share into defined contribution plans to ensure retirement with dignity. And this means fighting to bring pensions to the majority of American workers who are now without them.